So first of all, thank you for teaching me Twitter 101 last week. If anybody's been following our Twitter tweets, I did a little bit of tweeting. I tried not to offend the Twitter community by being irrelevant and just patronizing. I tried to do a couple of neat things. How did I do, Stella?
Well, we got you semi-started. We need to... we need... The next step is that we need to set you up with something called... some Twitter application. Deck is one thing. Then that would be for Twitter. And you can see your whole stream on Facebook there. So it's all in one.
So it sort of sorts everything out so I can do it in an organized fashion and it doesn't all just dump into 50 emails.
Exactly.
Okay.
No emails.
Right. I mean, it's not going to clog up my email. That was my big concern. Is I get 1,000 emails a day. I don't need a bunch of tweets that are going to just fill it up. I'd rather be able to look at them in an organized fashion, and that's what this does.
Once you start creating your community, you're going to start following people based on it can be just on Miami, or it could also be just based on topic, or both. And what happens, you start following, you start conversing, and then after a while, let's say the stream gets too busy, you can create what is called a Twitter list. And a Twitter list is basically saying, wow, these people are sharing some really cool stuff that I'm very interested in regarding, like for you, real estate.
Right.
And so let's say you're following 200 people. So you don't want to see that stream, it's too busy, and you just want to focus on the stream of those, let's say, key people, 5 to 7 people, let's say, and then you can just be looking at their stream and then really engage in a conversation with them, even though all your other followers are seeing the conversation you're having with those people.
Okay, well...
It's organized.
It's organized. And now Twittering, you can do like a blog with Twitter too, or you can Twitter your blog links and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, Twitter is really what it's called, they call it micro blogging.
Okay.
So you have 160 characters to say something, but of course, a lot of us have more things to say, and you want to take it a little bit further. So, like, let's say you were talking about, let's say, a real estate market report of this month, what happened in REO, whatever.
Okay.
And so then you just send a tweet and say, here's my report on the real estate market, and you can put a quick tweet of percentage increase or whatever, and then you put the link on your blog, and then people can take it from there.
Oh, okay. So it sort of alerts people what's on the blog without forcing them to read the whole blog.
Yeah, you shouldn't put a tweet just with a link without saying what it is, because then most people won't link. You should give them a heads up of what the link is about.
Okay, so that's sort of like translating Twitter etiquette into the real world then.
Yeah. I never click on a link unless someone tells me what it is.
Okay. Now, once someone's set up their blog, what do they do next?
So, besides setting up the tweet deck, then you do have to set up your profiles, and it would be good to keep your name consistent across the different profiles. Besides Facebook and Twitter, then you have the YouTube, then you have what is called Delicious, which is a social bookmarking. So once you start reading a lot of cool things on Twitter, on other, or just things that you see in the paper, or whatever you read, or a magazine, or any online journals, then you can start saving all these bookmarks, and you can save them and tag them, and then you can tweet those bookmarks, and believe it or not, on Delicious, there is a community there too.
You're too funny. I got to start making up. We got to when George builds the website. George, I hope you're listening. When George builds the website, we're going to need a glossary for you, because you got all these techno terms that Mr. Analog over here never gets. But I'm really looking forward to when you're going to come and give me my help to set up my tweet deck, so we can talk about that next week.
Yeah, and so going back to about creating your profiles, you should try to keep your name consistent, and then so YouTube, Flickr is for photos. There's other video sharing sites like Vimeo, but everybody knows YouTube, and basically you set them up, you create a profile, you have a little avatar, so you have a picture of you or your brand, and so that's just the initial setup. Then the next step is creating content.
You know, I really don't want to tweet what I'm having for breakfast. What do I tweet about to make it social and interesting so that people don't get offended but will follow?
Well, like I said, one of the things that you can become a resource of information or a resource of cool content that's related to your market. It can be you can tweet a graph that you created. You don't have to write a whole full-fledged article, and or it could just be an image. And so basically, you become the resource. And you know, the thing about a lot of people think that that's the first thing people say. Oh, I have to talk about what I had for breakfast. And that's really not what it's about. Once you start creating the community, you know, people like to talk about food. And yeah, sometimes if I'm at a restaurant and I'm eating this delicious seafood meal, I'll tweet about it because but I don't do it all the time.
You want to give a nice recommendation for the restaurant or something.
Well, yes, and usually if I know that they have a Twitter account, I'll ask them and then I'll tweet. So I'm trying to promote as much as I can the local businesses as well.
Oh, that's terrific.